Welcome back, everyone. We are the Irish Goodbye. I'm Shane. That's Jason. We are hoping to keep this to a tight 28 minutes, according to Jason. I think he's dreaming, but
38 minutes.
We're gonna jump right into it then to try to reach his dreams. So, going and looking back at last week, the injury report, we're looking at the great matchup of the week. I had Clitankerous versus the Superb Owls.
Same.
And I mean, I looked, and there were actually a lot of good matchups this week.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to take the L on this one. I still think with a 1 versus 2, it was a close matchup. It was tight the whole way. I think arguments can be made, but I feel like this was a great matchup and lived up to the hype.
I also am not willing to admit default of any kind, so I also would agree. I mean, when you end up with there still being kind of no technically shift in the standings, but basically a 1A, 1-2 as a result, I feel like it's pretty impactful. I would give a close second place to the Waving Cats versus Draft Day Champion.
Okay.
A tight, real tight matchup. Ken's team, who I think he felt like we were disparaging him in some way, but I actually feel like Ken's team has great longevity. So Ken, if you're listening, I'm sorry. Also, I'm sorry that I woke up at 5:30 this morning and sent you a pretty absurd trade request because I think I confused two Vikings receivers. So when Ken openly laughed at me in the Discord, that was warranted. So sorry, Ken.
I mean, for the rest of us who didn't see the trade request, though, what was it?
So it was my soon-to-be Hall of Fame tight end Theo Johnson.
Absolutely.
I went for Vikings wide receiver, and I realized now he's on the waiver wire. Desperation, Jalen Naylor. I actually made the trade for Addison. And Ken rejected it and said, honestly, I didn't even know what I was looking at when I didn't even know what to think, I believe is what he said, or something along those lines, which is fair.
I mean, it's slightly fair, but given his proclivity for tight ends,
I don't know.
I'm okay with it.
That was my only real goal is, can I entice Ken on an early Tuesday morning before he goes to teach? Can I entice him with a tight end who just scored a bunch of points in a trade?
Yeah, he's definitely not thinking before he goes to teach. So,
but he was thinking enough to reject it. So.
All right. Well, let's after that foolishness, let's go to headed for the blue tent. So this is the worst matchup of the week. I had the Bare Naked Hades versus Malcolm Death Squad. I was very wrong. I was very, very wrong. Unlike Malcolm, I am ready to be able to take on the incorrect choices that I make and take responsibility for them, as I tell my students all the time. You got to take responsibility for your bad choices, and that one was a bad choice. It was a good matchup, and unfortunately for Jason, he just ran into just a buzzsaw right there. Like that was rough.
Yeah. Would have beat, I think, 6 other teams. It was a high scoring week for most people. But yeah, the doors got blown off me in the afternoon games, or the late afternoon games. But yeah, I went with my worst game was going to be Mad Dogs versus Points a Latte. And
One could argue. Yeah.
But I think that seeing how things played out, when you have two teams scoring less than 100 points, I think
Bottom of the barrel versus fat guy, definitely.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
here's the one thing. So first off,
at least it was close.
Congratulations, Chuck. You're back under 100, where you feel comfortable. You clearly that's your safe zone.
Back in the wheelhouse.
But I think the craziest part of that matchup for me, look how good Yahoo AI did on that game. They were like spot on. That is, I mean, that's pretty wild. They're what?
Very close.
0.42 off on bottom of the barrel and 0.07 off.
Yeah.
On fat kind of little end zone. That's probably going to be the best AI call of the season.
Yeah. I mean, that is quite. Yeah, that's. We got to jot this down. We got to keep an eye on this.
That is wild.
Because I mean, even just glancing at some of the other scores, like they're all off by quite a bit, except for Mad Dogs.
Well, yeah,
by 4, but
it's a lot easier when you're down in that type of range. Like I think if we did the percentages, that they might actually be just as wide off as some of the higher scoring teams.
Yeah, I mean that's rough. When you beat Yahoo's projection with 85 points, something is very bad.
Well, we know it is. It's his team. So
we need to, Chuck, when you listen, find us the last winless team.
How far into the season? And does he have? He doesn't have any points, right, at all.
I pull up the standings, but I doubt it. Let's see. He has 1 point. He got 1 top 6.
When? Oh wow!
When did that happen?
Okay. I don't know, but good for him.
I'm scrolling through as we continue. I'm going to find it.
He won't be blanked, but all right. So that moves us on to the training staff. So we're looking at the heroes and the IR of the week, and as always, we start with the team that's the top of my list, which is my team. So the Cardinals versus the Troll Tolls, and I kind of looked at this matchup, and I'm gonna go with the hero of the week was Baker Mayfield, and it's not necessarily because it's this week, but he has been the one kind of consistent spot on this team. He has produced well. This is his best week of the season. He had a great week, 379 with 2 passing touchdowns. But I just think that consistency has, at least personally for me, given me one less position to think about. Him and Tyler Warren right now are my MVPs of the season, because I just don't care about quarterback or tight end, and I don't care about the matchup. So, so they've been great. He's great, and I'm going to miss Amari and Hampton for the next 4 weeks.
Hopefully, only 4. It looked worse maybe than it is. I don't know. Who knows? Walking boot's never a good thing, but no. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, I'm gonna, if I had to, I'd put my 2 cents in for your shining star, Jamar, finally showing up.
This is the second week he's shown up. You stop it. Don't shortchange my 1-1 there.
I mean, I mean, he has been shortchanged enough as it is.
In Flacco, we trust, though.
I hope for both of our sakes. I hope that is the case.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yeah. It can't be worse.
It can't be worse. No, I mean, yeah, it can't be worse. No. Definitely.
To be honest with you, I'm actually more concerned about Chase with Flacco under center, only because I don't think Flacco will force it like some of the other guys would. Like Brown
throw
would.
It up. Yeah,
and so that's my only concern.
Give me those underneath routes.
Right, he actually will be like a real quarterback, and not just be like, I have Jamar Chase on my team, I'm going to throw to him 45 times a game, which is why I wanted Jameis.
Yep. Precisely. I'm going to go with my my IR designee here. Looking at a pretty close game, only 7 points. What do you want more of out of certain players, and kind of where they are in either the career or the teams they're on, and pretty balanced. I mean, 135 points in a loss is rough. I mean, we had a lot of those, or a number of those games this week. I'm probably going to go with, I think in a game that was higher scoring than I thought it might be, probably Etienne. Not just because he was the lowest scorer, but there was a lot of ground action happening in that game, but it was all going through Trevor Lawrence. And on the other side, Mahomes doing a lot of the same. So, I mean, he only caught 3 balls. He only rushed for 49 yards, no scores. I mean, they had some goal line situations, like kind of a letdown. If he had done, even if he had gotten a score, if he had gotten a few more catches, if he had, could have been the difference. You're glad that it's not, but I'm putting Etienne in the IR spot this week for the troll tools.
For me, I looked at it, and honestly, if you aren't great at doing quick math in your head, Brian's team looks better than mine. Like it just does.
If you go down the line,
right? Yeah. It just does. I mean, if I kind of just had like the general gist of each position and how much they might score, good amount, a lot, whatever. His is a consistent team.
It is.
And so for this week, again, I'm gonna continue my trend of breaking the rules, and for my IR designee, I have an NA, not applicable. He doesn't have an IR designee. His team came out, they all performed. I mean, like, wow. Yeah, you would have loved to see a couple more points here and there, but like his team did it, and like there's nothing to kind of turn your nose up at. Like, he had a great week, and he just happened to run into some unlucky breaks with Kyron Williams going nuts and Jamar Chase finally doing something, and Baker Mayfield having a game of the year. Like, it's just, it's unfortunate for him because, I mean, again, I have 2 IR designees on my team that would have gotten chosen had we lost. And just got lucky. So,
I mean, looking at total points too, Cholto should be, I believe, total points, they would be in 4th place, 3rd place. Let's see, 46, 25. Yeah, 4th place it looks like. And instead they are in 6th place. So, I mean, good team. Ran into some, a resurgent Cardinals team, who I don't know how you have moved up in the rankings such as you have, but
skill.
Skill only.
Lots of work.
Yeah, right. Putting in the hours.
Putting the hours.
Yeah. All those important things. So.
All right, so that moves us on to our next matchup, which again, I think arguably, like Jason said, one of the matchups of the week, which was Chinese Waving Cats versus the draft day champion three-peat, which was just a great matchup, and really a lot of fun to watch. Again, I think with this, I find myself actually watching the matchups more than I have in years past, just so that we can talk about it a little bit. But there have been some really fun ones to kind of follow throughout the year. But for this one, looking at the heroes, we've talked about this before. When you score 3 touchdowns, you're the hero of the week. So Jonathan Taylor is the hero of the week.
There it goes. Thank you, Raiders.
No analysis needed.
Nope. Pretty simple. No argument from me. And I mean, what else can you say? It's nice to face off against the Raiders. If you see one of your players facing off against Vegas, then they're probably gonna have a pretty good week. Flip side of that, looking at the draft day champions again, you kind of look and you're like, all right, big performance here, pretty big performance there, kind of up and down the line. It's hard to kind of point to a person, especially given like the choices that were available. So I think I'm, kind of going to look more at matchups. I feel like the disappointment there, or the IR designate there, is probably that Kamara did not do more against the Giants, who are not good. And they scored 26 points, but he was just kind of out there, not really, he had 4 catches, but for 28 yards, only eight rushes, 27 yards. Just like a weird game. I think some season lows for Kamara at a time where when you only lose by 3 and the team wins, and you're just kind of like, why wasn't he more involved?
And I don't know that it's going to be season lows. I actually, it just feels like, but no, it just feels like Kamara is being kind of phased out.
Yeah.
For Kendre Miller, or maybe they're just keeping him fresh so they can trade him. Like I don't know. He just doesn't.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's not the 2020 version that Pat was looking for.
That he was hoping for.
Yeah,
like some other people on his team. Yeah.
But I agree with you. Alvin Kamara is who I had written down. And I think he needed more out of him, and like you said, in a close game.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. I just think, Kamara needs to step up for Pat in order for him to be a contender.
He's had some weird games. Touches have been, I think week 2 he had the most touches. He's gone 11 week 1, or this rushing attempts, 11 week 1, and then 21, 18, 15, 8. Passing attempts have been a little more stable. But I don't know. I mean, receptions and targets.
But one touchdown in the whole year.
Yeah, I mean the Saints are pretty bad, and I mean the Rattlers out there just doing whatever, not much. So, but again, Kamara is not what he once was. If he's not getting fed the ball, they seem content to just sort of, I don't know what the Saints are doing, honestly, but it's not helping draft day champion.
All right, we're gonna skip over to the Bare Naked Hades and the Malcolm Death Squad. Again, another situation where, I mean, you had a good week. You just ran into a buzzsaw there.
Yeah.
And so for the Bare Naked Hades, again, it'd be easy to choose Mecca Ibuka. Jalen Waddle showing up for the first time. That's great. Justin Fields had a great game. But again, I just don't think you can overlook when your tight end scores 20 plus fantasy points. Mm-hmm. He's the hero of the week, because that gives you all the breathing room that you need, because they don't typically score 20 plus points except if you're Theo Johnson.
Yep. Which again, Ken, he's available. I mean, I just watching the back and forth tight end scores was pretty fun on Sunday. I mean, for once I could look at my team and say, wow, I'm getting notifications that touchdowns are occurring. But then also checking in the matchup and seeing it was happening and similarly on the other side. So I think I've kind of, you kind of get used to, this seems to be what you're going to get from Ibuka. This seems to be the kind of thing that you're starting to see from Nico. You might hope for more from Waddle. Mine was actually going to be, which I also think Chuck's got to be feeling bad about this one. I'm going to give this mantle to Michael Carter. Okay. Purely because Ross, in his infinite wisdom, went with the bet. I mean, you could argue whatever the Cardinals were doing, but for all intents, the backup to the backup, or the third string elevated to second string, although more of a clearly not exactly that. Chuck went with DeMarcado. Ross picked up Carter. Carter obviously far outperformed DeMarcado there. So I'm gonna give
for a second. Is that actually true?
Isn't it true? Didn't DeMarcado get like 2 points?
Yeah, but DeMarcado on one play threw away like 8 points.
Well, I mean, those points aren't on the board, are they?
All I'm saying, and again, yes, he definitely outdid
If that weren't the case, then I wouldn't be saying this.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, I'm just
But
saying though that like if you look at the actual like football game, like it, if he
maybe
hadn't thrown that at the goal line, which was not a football play, it was just an idiot move, which
it
obviously
was.
Chuck couldn't plan
That is
against,
true.
right? Like you're
That's true.
talking about the
Yeah,
difference
well,
between
I mean, that's
18
true.
and 14.
Well, I mean, you could make that argument. You could make that argument,
I
but
think I am.
I'm not going to make that argument.
I believe I'm
I
making
am
the
going
argument.
to I'm going to stick with.
I think Michael Carter being the hero on that team though is a very good call.
And it's just I think it's I think it's indicative of probably we had discussed when Bernick and Haiti was struggling, and again they're still climbing up the rankings, just behind the resurgent Cardinals. But these are the kind of moves that win you games. That it's some of it's luck, but some of it also is just having a feel for. And when you've won championships, you got that feel. And I have the expert level painting to prove it, that Ross has that gold touch. So Michael Carter's proof of that for me.
Do we need to talk about the R designee?
No.
It's like pretty easy.
Yeah,
I believe that last week we were calling him the professor. So Woody Marks, who allows his students to call him Woody, which is problematic. Was not as problematic as his score this week.
That's the least problematic thing about him. I'm not surprised. I knew there was going to be a regression, but this much, and then going into a bye. Thanks for nothing, Professor. Maybe he should see B after class. Is what I was saying after that game.
So that brings us up to our next matchup: Clitankerous versus the Superb Owls. My pick, our picks for the game of the week. And it lived up to the hype. It wasn't quite as close as some of the other games, but was right there. And for Clitankerous, I had a hero, but I also have an honorable mention. This isn't like a double hero of the week, because I don't think that's fair with this. But I do think for the hero, it's obviously Stephon Diggs. He came,
agreed,
out. He was insane. It was awesome. And the Patriots won too, which was even for all the Pats fans in our league, I'm sure even better. For my honorable mention though, Calvin Ridley. We left him for dead.
I maligned him.
We did
multiple times.
Yeah, both of us did. I started Aya Manor because
I hope he was listening.
How terrible he was. And then Calvin Ridley goes ahead and steals all of his receptions and yards.
Sure did.
Which hurt my my margin of victory this week. Didn't affect the game at all, but hurt the margin of victory. So yeah. So I mean, I just think Calvin Ridley deserves a bit of a shout out.
Yeah. No, that is a good point. I know we were, and rightly so. Sometimes players just need a spark, and sometimes it comes from an unlikely source, podcasts they don't listen to or know exists. But in this case, it worked out.
Jason, did you notice too? Clitankerous has a full team.
I did notice that. I believe he picked up 2 prior to the podcast being posted.
I don't recognize
that. But the timeline's a little bit fuzzy. I know for sure he picked a third. He had to pick a third one up after. But we also mentioned it the previous week. So honestly, we will. You're welcome. I know. Again, it's just. He's got a good team.
Again, though,
still starting
still starting both Denver running backs.
He's going with it.
The thing is that
it's working out.
I don't want to see him win, obviously, because I want to. But like, there's there's a joy in my
Kind of
heart
beautiful. Yeah.
that he's just like this absolutely unlikely strategy here with not like the most like dominant backfield in the world,
just
but I'm gonna run them both.
A team that's winning. I mean, 3-2, but a team that is running the ball, a team that is getting consistent. Obviously Dobbins is the key here, but I mean, there have been worse running backs to start, and I've started some of them. So it gives me a little bit of joy to look at the little portraits on his roster and see the two back to back, creamsicle orange, both double initial first names. Like there's just poetry to this.
Well, it's interesting though. JK does have periods after each of his names, but RJ does not. I'd like to know what the thought process is there.
That is a great question that I think we need to figure out for next time.
Did you have a hero on his team besides?
I mean, it was going to be Diggs. That's the Diggs that you were hoping to see even a fraction of, and he exploded. So.
All right, now make the very difficult choice on the other side. Who is your IR designee for the Superb Owls?
Well, I mean, it's going to have to be who previously had been really, really, really good for you and went up against the Patriots in this rivalry game and did nothing. And I'm going to giving it to Cook. I did watch the end of the Eagles game, and I saw AJ Brown basically defend the Hail Mary against his opponent, and but I can't really, it's hard to fall for that. Cook had been every game he scored over 20 points until now, so it's going to be James Cook for me, the third.
I mean, absolutely. And I mean, again, it was a down week.
Yep.
And I don't think Josh is going to be too upset. I mean, like obviously we all like to win, but did he get his point?
I believe let me look at the scores.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he didn't.
I know I got one. I think he got squeaked out by who got 120.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 7 people above.
People jammed in. Yep.
I think the troll tolls actually. Oh no, draft day champion.
Someone got knocked out by
draft day champion got knocked out. And it was by 0.7 points.
Or by me. Yeah.
No, by the troll tolls, I thought.
No, I got 132.58.
Oh,
he got 132.26.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, yeah, the troll tolls though, I thought. Because troll tolls had one. Oh, I'm sorry, 132. Sorry.
Yeah.
My
it was a lot. We were real mashed.
Yeah. That's wow. That's pretty wild.
A heartbreaker.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Sure. It is. All right, so we're on to the worst game of the week by far. Bottom of the barrel, Fat Guy in a Little End Zone. I would first like to say I didn't want to give a hero of the week here. I didn't think a hero of the week was deserved. The 2 points should be spread about the rest of the better scoring teams of the week.
A fraction each. This
was an absolute gift to Ken Wicks and his swan song here. But for his hero of the week though, I think it's pretty obvious. For me, it doesn't have anything to do with score or anything like that. But Devonta Smith has done absolutely nothing all year long. Came out, had a great game.
A 20-point game.
Yeah, and he wasn't like wasn't a fluky one. It was.
No, but he was 4, 9, 4.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, 8 reception, 114 yards. That is a solid game. It was not buoyed by, it wasn't like a 335 with like 2 scores or something. Yep. It was a real game, and so definitely his hero of the week, and encouraging for anyone in any other leagues that might own Devonta Smith. Spoiler alert, me. I own him in another league.
I have been in another league as well.
He was on the bench this week though, so
wow. Yeah, I mean, I think It's pretty. If you look at performance of guys you want to perform, and guys you expect to perform, that is that I would agree there. I thought about Shaheed, but I think Smith, you've been looking for something close to this production in more games than not, which he hasn't been giving you. So to see it here, it's honorable mention. Shaheed, I think if I honestly looking at the standings, I don't understand how
He won't be.
Barrel is in third place.
No, but he won't be though.
Looking at this team, he had the big Mark Andrews game, which we don't need to talk about that.
Ridiculous.
And just I don't know. I'm looking at this team and I'm like, what?
But he won't be able to be there. Like, but he doesn't like his running backs are Jaylen Warren and Josh Jacobs. So like Jaylen Warren has to get healthy. Josh Jacobs has to stay healthy.
What's wrong with Ray Davis?
I mean nothing as long as you're content with a yard a game. So
let's see, how many points does he have total in the season, Ray Davis? Less than 4.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. It's a bad team. I'm really upset that I faced him early in the season when Mark Andrews decided to be a football player. Yeah, it's not great. So looking over at Fat Guy in a Little End Zone, what do you got for IR designate?
Well, I have already made my thoughts known on this, and I won't be taking it back because he bungled that touchdown, which would have won Chuck the game. It is Demercado for me.
Yeah, easy choice. Like I 100%
maybe
agree.
Even before that.
Yeah,
but because of that, for sure. Like that is honestly, that was one of the closer ones. Like when I watched it, it's one of the ones like in real time, it looked fine. Some of them are pretty obvious, like the drop before the end zone. But this one was tight, but it was. I just don't understand, like especially in that situation when you're a guy that is getting a chance, you break a huge run. I'm like, if that happens to me, I'm like my ball fully locked. I am like running into the tunnel at the other end of the, like I just don't understand it.
So just a quick fun story. Side note, real life. I might have bet on all of the afternoon games. I might have bet that Tennessee was going to win. I might have won $124 on that particular play and the craziness that happened in that game. So all the insanity, everything that happened in the game, the interception that was fumbled in the end zone for a touchdown. I mean, like,
thank you, Cardinals.
I've never felt joy like that before. Wow. I have 2 children, so.
Well, no, you never felt joy like that. You felt different types of joy.
That's true. That's fair. Thank you, Jason. Thank you for not making me a terrible human being. I am, but thank you.
But not for this reason.
Well, I mean, maybe for this reason too. All right, that brings us to the dumpster fire game of the week, which is Mad Dogs and Points Latte Half Calf, which doesn't have anything to do with Points Latte. They were fine. Wow.
Yikes.
But for Points Latte, I'm gonna go chalk on this one. CMC just keeps putting up points. It hurts my soul. It hurts everything.
I mean, I knew, of course, it was gonna happen. I can't even. It makes me sick to look at
it's not pretty
that he has scored.
Yeah. It's not pretty. It's not what any other running back in the league
could possibly do.
Yeah, the way they do it. But and he
look at all the catches.
Doesn't matter who it is. It can be the casts off of multiple teams who's throwing to him.
Oh, they're just dumping it off to him, and he's just going.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's CMC. It's not close. And again, I still think Points Latte has a very competent, solid team. And I actually think that Quentin Johnston is going to really take off now that Hampton's out. I think there's a chance that he had a great start of the season. This wasn't a fantastic game, but
no, this is his worst game by far. But
also too, just a quick thing for Ray. Ray, stop tinkering. Why would you not be starting
Tommy Tremble?
Yeah, but
Come on,
Harold
buddy.
Fanning has been fine. I don't know what you're chasing. Like,
Well, I
I
mean,
get it for
he's
the
been
4.5 last week, whatever. But like, what
he
is
was chasing the points. He was chasing the points last week.
Tommy
Tommy T
Tremble
scored
has
15
scored
points.
over that twice this season. The 4.4, the low point of
Yep.
Harold Fanning's season, he scored twice over that. One of them was 0.6 over it. Like,
Yep.
stop tinkering.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah,
tinkering.
if you're listening, from two teams who definitely should be giving you advice, especially me, Theo Johnson is available.
I've rolled with Harold Fanning in a number of leagues, and I still like him. I think he's got a lot of upside. So stick him in there. Stop tinkering. Stop worrying.
I mean, yeah, just put him in there. Let Fannin, steer the ship until Kale comes back, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Also, hopefully, Chuba Hubbard's out for 6, 7, 8 more weeks for no particular reason.
Strong running back room.
Yeah. So, I mean, as much as it pains me to say it, the obvious choice, your top guy doing top guy stuff. Gotta go with that. On the other side, I'm going with. I mean, it feels kind of stale at this point because I don't know what else he could possibly do aside from trying to make some trades, I guess. But I'm just looking for bright spots on this lineup. I mean, I know this is IR designated territory, but I'm also I'm looking at the other side of the coin too and thinking things are rough. I mean, I don't really know what exactly was going on here, but I'm gonna go with Taysom Hill, who I was surprised to see in the lineup. Kind of forgot about this guy. Less than a point. Confused as to, considering there were tight ends picked up off the waiver wire that were more competent. Not that it would have mattered. I'm confused and a little bit, honestly, a little bit scared of the well-being of the Mad Dogs in the choices that they're making with this roster.
All right, so here I am. This is going to surprise you, I'm sure. I'm going to come to the defense of myself, my brother, whoever you consider to be running this team. It's my brother, though, because I don't like Taysom Hill and wouldn't have picked him up. But tight end is such a crapshoot. And I looked at that too, Jason, and I said, it was awful. But, like, he hasn't played this year. Who knows what he is? You've got Spencer Rattler, who's like he's fine right now. He's not the worst quarterback in the league. He's, like, making plays. He's getting the ball out to people. Like, Olave's like stock hasn't like gone way down or anything. So, like, if you've got a guy like that, he's a gadget. He can do stuff. He'll score. He's gonna have a game this year where he scores 2 touchdowns. Whether it's rushing them in, receiving, or throwing them, he's gonna have a game that he's gonna have 2 touchdowns. But that being said,
he just came back from that injury, though.
I know, but but tight end is such a crapshoot, and it's just like, I don't know. He's got Brock Bowers there. It's the curse of the Raiders.
Bowers is that's a real bad,
right?
That's a real bad.
And so he's thrown someone in there. He took a chance on a guy that's probably done him well in the past. Whatever, he's got love for him. I'm fine with it. I think for me, the IR designee is one that's much more concerning. Which is Jameis Williams. And the reason why is because there was such great buzz about him out of camp this year. Jared Goff was like singing his praises. Everyone thought he was going to take the next step. It was going to be, he was going to be a guy, maybe not the guy because you've got St. Brown there, but he was going to be a guy that really went off this year. And given how great,
a lot of plays to go around,
right? And given how great the Lions' offense is, that's super exciting to have like a piece of that. And when you see like what Jahmyr Gibbs and what David Montgomery put up this past week, what Goff's been doing, what St. Brown's been doing, the fact that he has stock in that offense, but it's in a guy that it's probably best to like help out in our degenerate gamblers group rather than actually in our fantasy football group. Is concerning.
Yeah, not good.
So James
Last
Williams
week,
is my guy.
Matt, he had his most targets last week. 8 targets, only 2 catches last week.
Yeah.
And this week, 1 target, 1 rush. He had 1 catch for 9 yards, 1 rush for 1 yard.
It's not good. I mean, what touches in the past? I mean, like the whole season: 4,
Bad.
2, 2, 3, 2.
2.
Not good.
Yep.
Not good. He's not involved. He's not involved.
He's not involved.
Yep. All right. So that wraps up our training staff segment, and so now we put this week in the review, and we move on to next week. We start looking into the future. So for full health this week, Jason, I'm gonna let you take full health to start. What do you got? Who are you excited about watching this week?
I am looking at best game being one where these teams are separated by, they have 1 team sandwich between them. They both have, at least on Yahoo, the same record. Bare Naked Hades versus Troll Tools. Maybe too early to be like a hinge point of the season, but both teams that I think Bare Naked Hades have been up and coming, kind of playing up. I mean, this last week exploded, but playing more up to what they could do. Troll Tools, definitely a good team. Some ups and downs, some bad luck. I think this is a matchup that will set one of these 2 teams off in a good direction and leave a pretty bad taste in the loser's mouth, because it looks like it's probably going to be a pretty good matchup, and might I say the best matchup of the week.
So I'm now regretting sending that to you, because I had a really great setup for this, and I'm going to still do it, despite the fact that you're going to know the answer already.
Everyone just pretend you didn't hear what I just said.
Jason, can I interest you in 8 starting running backs? Can I interest you in a Bapst rivalry? Can I interest you in a game where if Brian loses, the Pats win? There's no better game of the week. It's going to be...
I'm hooked.
It's going to be Bare Naked Hades versus the Troll Tolls. So, yeah, no. So, I mean, like, yeah, it's so much fun. Like, I mean, if Drake May has a great game, I really think that Brian's going to lose, and he's going to be very torn between his fantasy and real life allegiances, and that gives me a lot of joy. But also, too, just the fact that right now, currently, again, obviously things can change, but like right now, they have 8 starting running backs, which is just in a microcosm.
That is this league.
Yes.
Yep. That is beautiful. The epitome of, I mean, just look at these. We may have depending on how the Pats play the running back room, we may have a actual developing interstate brawl occur between the 2 owners. Honestly, I just hope that someone, get some video footage of that, because I would love to, play that audio for next week's podcast.
That's the matchup of the week. And all right, so for Headed for the Blue Tent, I'm not going to let Jason steal my thunder. You know how the past few weeks I've been like, until Josh loses, like Curtis, he has to be in the in the matchup of the week, right? Well, he lost this week, so he doesn't make the matchup of the week. He doesn't make the full health. And so I'm gonna have a new one. Until Josh Yardley wins, he will be in my Headed for the Blue Tent game, because
it's not gonna be this week.
Yeah, Clatankerous, look, no shade on you. You're just playing a guy who's dragging you down into the worst matchup of the week. This is going to be an absolute snooze fest. Like, there's no questions right now. There's no way that Mad Dogs, something spectacular has to happen. Yeah. I mean, and this is honestly, we don't even do this, but I'm just going to say, this is my lock of the week. Clatankerous is going to win.
I mean, look at it's got 2 Pats against the Saints. We're
rolling Taysom Hill out again.
Well, apparently. He appears to be going with the shades of waving cats, but with lesser quality players. Although Waller has been good, unless there is like a freak, mid early October blizzard in Denver. I mean, in with the Denver running backs, at the Jets game, or some sort of natural disaster occurs that makes it so you can't, run the ball.
The Rockies raise up another 5,000 feet.
Why before they fly to the stadium, the Rockies shear off and collapse onto the Denver.
Oh yeah,
airport.
it's at New York. You're right. Sorry.
Something.
Maybe New York falls into the ocean.
New York falls in the ocean.
Yeah.
The National Guard is deployed there illegally, and it makes it so the team can't get to the game. Those are the only things that will happen. Martial law is declared. J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey get pinned as the ones who have their hands on the Epstein files, and they get sent
in their names.
Yeah, they start going by their full complete names, and immediately become terrible players.
In their names, then their IDs to get into the stadium wouldn't work, so they might not be allowed in.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's true. The real IDs and all that stuff too.
Yeah. These are concerns that we have.
These are the only things.
This is the hard-hitting news you guys tune in for.
These are the only things that will stop Cliffhanger from winning that game.
But that's definitely the worst game of the week. It's not close. But Jason, if you have a differing one, please tell me how it is close.
There is no one with such a gap in score. The only thing that might even come close, and there's not even a point in discussing that. This is the one.
This is the one. Agreed. All right, so that brings us to the injury update. This is where we look at last week's pickups. We look at this week's pickups and discuss what we got. And Jason, I always like to look up the pickup of the week. And this week, congratulations, it's you, Rico Dowdle. That was masterful. Anytime you can pick up a guy who's going to rush over 200 yards in a week, you did it. I mean, you lost still, but you still did it. Like it was great. Are you talking right now? Because
did you not hear me just say?
I did not.
No. Oh, I actually made up a brief song about Mad Dogs and their dire straits, but my mic must have been off. So it was a one take deal. So I can't repeat it.
And it's lost to the universe.
Yeah. I just hope that he continues to be involved in the offense.
I just hope he gets another carry this
year.
Please
keep him in. Please keep him playing. Please give him the revenge game against the Cowboys. Like, I need this.
I think he's going to be involved still, even if Chuba Hubbard comes back. I just don't think you can sit a guy, no matter who you're playing, that went over 200. So
nope. That is for sure. I appear to have lost my pickup predictions from last week, so I have no idea. But I know now. One of them was someone that I also picked up, which was Theo Johnson.
Ooh.
So selfishly, I'm going to pat myself on the back, even though, again, in a loss. That he was my. I mean, again, we know tight end up and down. You get what you can get. 33 yards, but 2 touchdowns, 6 catches. He's available for trade. He's up and coming. So, can't argue with that.
Well,
I don't want to hear it.
I'm going to build off of that, and I'm going to say the tight end pickup of this week that will make you forget about trying to trade for Theo Johnson is going to be Mason Taylor. Jets tight end. He's a guy who has seen his role increase every single week. So 1 target to 2 targets to 6 targets to 7 targets to 12 targets. 1 reception, 1 reception, 4 receptions, 5 receptions to 9 receptions. This is a guy who is slowly working his way into whatever you want to call the Jets offense, air quotes. But look, they got to throw to somebody else besides Garrett Wilson, and Mason Taylor is slowly becoming that guy.
Yep, I mean it's hard to argue with that. I mean, you look at teams where you look for teams that are not good, that are shaking things up, looking for some stability, and tight end always seems to be one of those positions. So,
and I think rookie tight ends are slowly like that whole like rookie tight ends are no good the first year or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like a thing of a couple of years ago. Like I think in the past few years we started to see they get up to speed a lot quicker, especially receiving ones.
Yeah, no, and way more of them now they're like just large wide receivers at this point. I'm going to go with after the catastrophe that happened with Amari and Hampton. I am not really sure which one of these guys to pick, but I'm going to go with the guy that I heard of less. I remember last year, Kamani Badal was like someone people were talking about, and so on and so forth. However, I don't really know which way to go here, so I'm going to take the contrarian take, and my pickup will be, if you need an RB, which is not needed by Vernick and Hades or the Troll Tools, then Hassan Haskins is going to be my guy. Good matchup against Miami. Who knows how that's going to play out? Could be a Carter Demercado situation. Hard to say, but Haskins it is for me. Not really inspiring, but desperation. Could be a Woody Marks. Could be a professorial situation in a couple weeks. Hard to say, but maybe at this point, you just hope you can plug in some of these guys and hope for the best for some teams that are down, down in the lower half, or the lower, really, I guess, the lower third of the league at this point, which I count myself as part of.
And I would actually, I'll kind of go with like a 2 for 1 on this one. I'm going to totally disagree. I think Haskins is probably the better pick here, to pick up. But also 2, I think he profiles more as the Hampton type running back. I think Vidal was a healthy scratch a number of times last year.
Yep.
So like
it was.
And then on top of that, I might even, if I can interest you in, Gus Edwards, who is not currently on the roster.
Is he still around?
Nope. But he is rumored to be kind of on the list of people that they're going to call to be able to get some more running back depth while Hampton is out. And he profiles nicely as a Jim Harbaugh. I mean, obviously, he's got familiarity with the system from last year. Yep. The one thing I would say about Haskins, though, that I heard, did I hear today or yesterday? Anyway, that I heard recently. Do you know where Haskins went to college?
Was it? I don't know.
It was Michigan.
Oh, interesting.
So he's a Jim Harbaugh guy, and so that's why I would go that direction with it.
I see.
Is because
nothing that Harbaugh wouldn't do for that school, as evidenced by recent events. So I could see that. I also think that well, who knows what the Patriots are going to do, but whoever they decide to, either they sign someone or they continue to brutalize Ross's hopes, and maybe they just go with simply a 2 running back room this week. And Henderson gets his leg cut off at the knee or something like that. But yeah, I mean, tough to say, but anytime you get an opportunity, see kind of not, unless you have informed analysis like we just got from you, it's kind of a dart throw.
You got anybody else?
I don't think, just looking through I had a couple guys shot it down, but no one that really, it seemed like there was a lot of guys who scored last week but did nothing else, which always makes me extremely hesitant to go on record as suggesting that they, although I know this doesn't come out until after, but I mean, if I were to go with another, this is a risky one, and he had been, I believe, drafted and then dropped previously by Cliff, would be Evan Engram, who had a good week, his first truly good week. But that would be a tentative. That would be if you have no one else at tight end, then you could put him in there, and good matchup. But that's about it.
The never-ending roller coaster of Evan Engram these days.
Yep.
All right. Well, as I was telling Jason before our pod, this marks the beginning of my golf adventure tomorrow. So I'm very excited to get off of this, and I'll be listening this on my way to one of the best golf courses in Maine while it's raining. But that's fine.
True.
That's fine. It'll be good. It'll be fun. But yeah. Hope everyone else has a great week. I hope that Ken does not have a good weekend. I don't wish anything positive on that young man, and hopefully
that's how I feel about the other Ken.
See, look at this. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Ken.
So Kens are
not welcome in the pod
in this audio medium. Yeah. I'm giving a thumbs down. And we are gonna finish this out in a nice tight under 58 minutes. So only 28 minutes past the only almost double what we said we were gonna do.
I love it. All right, we'll see you guys next week. This has been fun. I'm Shane. He's Jason. See you guys.
Bye.